Oh, there it is.
What's the deal, YouTube? We're back with the weekly multiplayer podcast. Sorry, we're starting a little late today. This is called Black Man's Time. Your boy was a little under the weather, and I've been sipping on that promethazine and codeine all afternoon. I just woke up, man. Woke up in the fog and the haze. Woke up and thought I was my man. What's my man name for Mafia III? Clinton. What's the joke name for Mafia III?
What is his name?
Lincoln.
Yeah, I woke up this afternoon, thought I was Clinton Lincoln, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, I was messed up in the day. But anyway, getting right into it, man. Shout out to I'd like to give a shout out to my man, officially Sensitive 8 Time, who's doing an hour-long podcast, live streaming about my new television. Like, you can't tell me you can't make this shit up. This shit just get downright spooky. But thank you for the shout out, good brother. Anyway, getting right into today's video, the topics. I got my man Porter Rock here today. Hey, Porter Rock, you there, brother?
What's good, cuz? What's good?
Hey, they don't kill me with that, cuz. Hey, yo, listen, I ain't heard from you in a while, man. What's going on, man? Where you been at?
Well, no, I wasn't able to do it last week.
Why were you able to do it last week? Talk to me.
Oh, so no, you know I'm a Marine, so I don't have.
Oh, I didn't know you was a soldier, brother. You not only are you fighting the console war, you're out there fighting war in real life. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why this console war don't mean shit. I have other shit to worry about.
Oh no, because I what I thought was the reason we haven't spoken to you, because the PS4 Slim dropped and that kind of bombed. So I didn't know what the hell was going on, man.
Nah, you already know how I feel about the Slim.
No, I don't. Want you to enlighten me, brother? I haven't spoken to you in long. People change their mind every day. What's going on? Talk to me, brother. Are you still in phone? Talk to me.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying Sony wasted their time releasing that shit. The only thing that they could have done good with that shit is like release it for like $249 or $199.
Oh,
but at $299, yeah, but at what $299? What's even the point?
Well, like I said, we talked about. I'm sorry.
We talked about like the guts, like, you know. But what they could have done is just keep the PS4 that they have now, and just make sure the guts are cheaper, but don't make a big spectacle of, hey, we got a PS4 Slim and it's really the same shit.
Yo, but
it's just a waste of time. Me personally, I would have just kept the PS4 and then just had the Pro replace the PS4 and then just discontinue the PS4. And then at this point, from starting November, just clear stockage up until November, and then at that point, from here on out, just the Pro, and just worry about the Pro.
Yeah. But like I said, we talked about this. Well, leading up to it. You know what I mean? We talked about this on the show, and I told you guys then that Sony wasn't dropping the PS4 down to $250. They're not going to go from $350 down to $250. They don't have an incentive. You know what I mean? Like when I say that, because the PS4 is still selling. You know what I mean? Just want to be clear. It's not like it's getting like Wii U status is only selling 40,000 consoles a month. Don't get me wrong. All that stuff is for bragging rights for this console war, but it all comes down to the bottom dollar. Like when Microsoft won, I believe with the first NPD, the first one they won was September. Yeah, the first one they won was August. Even though they sold more consoles than Sony, I think about 10,000. They made less money because they took the original the original Xbox, the fat one, up that down to 50. Even though they sold more consoles, they made less money for like I said, at the end of the day, it's all down to the bottom dollar. And just because, again, they did alleviate the optical port. Don't get me wrong, I said it makes sense for them to come out with a Slim because the components are cheaper, but because they can use less plastic, which in the long term saves them money. But and like I said today, I never saw them drop it and take it off by $100. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, probably what would happen going forward in the future, maybe 2 years from now, maybe the PS4 Slim, maybe will get phased out and it would just be the standard PS4 Pro. But there's a lot of people that still can't afford $400. You got to realize this too, and I want you guys to weigh on this. I'm shut the hell up. That consoles don't really start to fly off the shelf until they hit their sweet spot, $250, $300. You know what I mean?
I agree.
That's when they, even with the PS2, like I know, I'm maybe showing my age here, but that didn't become the world beater that it was, so it dropped down to $199. You know what I mean? That's the sweet spot for the casuals. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, maybe they may not. They got to have some type of representation out there. As long as you buy a quote unquote a PS4 or whatever it be, to be the Slim or the Pro, you are going to invest in Sony's ecosystem. Which I mean by that, you know, they don't really make much money on hardware. It's all from the software sales, you know, licensing their fees or whatever the case may be. So it is what it is. But like I said today, but you know, it came out that Microsoft has one September's NPD also. Report this is crazy. Last year they sold, I believe it was 294,000 units or whatever the case may be for the month of October or September. And they've, I guess, far surpassed that for the month of September. So I don't know what the hell. They said the Xbox, we're not even fancy talking the numbers, is the only console that's been up year over year. Well, I guess taking a dig at Sony saying they're going down and we're, you know, coming up or whatever the case may be. I got the article. It says Xbox One was the top selling home console in the United States September, according to data from the industry tracking firm NPD. This marks the third straight month that Microsoft gaming system has beaten out the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Wii U in terms of units sold. After winter in July and August, Microsoft has strong few months, but it's important to note that summer and early fall do only a fraction of sales that the industry will see in October, especially November and December. They don't have the actual numbers in here, but okay, anyway. So anyway, the Xbox brand in itself in UK, and I want to my man MVP Magazine's the way, you know, Nick, get his perspectives how what's going on in the UK scene. But the Austria, the US, I think in Brazil also, I know South America, Microsoft does well because it's a lot cheaper than the PS4 because they have a plant down there in South America where they don't have to pay the, you know, import taxes and stuff like that. Make a long story short, so the Xbox One itself is up all across the board. And do you guys feel that this is something that Microsoft can keep up going forward until the Scorpio comes out? Or do you think, oh, it's just going to go away once the PS4 Pro hits the market? Anybody can go.
I think once Sony has their hardware and they have something to actually show for it, I think that you'll see a lot more tug and pull on Sony's side.
What do you mean they have their hardware? What are you talking
like
about?
When they have the Pro out, when they have the VR out, which is out now. So when they actually have something to sell, then you'll actually see the pull of the numbers rather than there's nothing for them because the Pro doesn't come out till next month and they just got their their VR today. So, you know, if there's nothing to sell, then there's no numbers to show.
Well, they got the PS4 and then the PS4 Slim, but okay, no problem. Hey, anybody chime in? What do you guys think?
I reckon because the PS4 has been out and most people know about the Pro, I reckon there is quite a big number of people who are waiting for the Pro. That being said, Microsoft definitely are making like a big stride sales-wise. So I don't know, like the things like the FIFA bundle are really popular in my country, in London and stuff like that. Like the FIFA Xbox One S bundle, it's like #1 at the moment and it's really selling out. So if Microsoft can keep that consistent, when the Pro comes out next month, it's quite possible that nobody could care because they're all, you know, on that FIFA bundle and stuff like that. And the Xbox One is closer to that $199 price that a lot of casuals go for because it's like $229 for Xbox One S over here with no game. So, and $249 with FIFA. And I got
$249. Jesus.
With FIFA, and I got the bundle that my girl got for me was FIFA and Forza Horizon 3, and that was only $269 for both FIFA, Forza Horizon 3, and an Xbox One S. So it's quite possible they could clean up, man. So Sony really need to hope that this VR thing works out for them.
Okay. Anybody? Porter Rock, you want to chime in on that?
What's up? Yeah, so I think the PS4, like I said, the Slim is so much more attractive. So I think, like, let's say if I were to get a PS4 for the first time, it wouldn't be the Slim. I would just find a way. I would collect cans, fucking run a trap house. I'm gonna find me a Pro. I'm a one way or another. You know, if we gotta eat white rice and eggs from
right.
One way or another, I'm gonna get me $100. If I gotta get a squeegee and be on the local Exxon, you know what I'm saying, sell oranges or something, we gonna get that $100. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like I said, I don't like the Slim at all. It just doesn't look attractive. You know what I'm saying? And they took out the optical port. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. Hey, we're gonna release a $300 console that's inferior to the original vanilla console. It just doesn't make sense. And then a month later, we're gonna release for only $100 more a console with optical out, much more powerful hardware, a better controller. It just, you know what I'm saying? A bigger hard drive that's also 3.0 SATA. Apparently now, it's just bananas. Like the price difference. Like the more I read on the Pro, the more I see the Slim should be $200 right out the gate. There's no way it should be just $100 away. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know. Well, my man all day. Well, K-Maker, talk to me. My man.
I mean, I'll basically just look at it from a person that's thinking about getting a PlayStation 4 something.
Okay, so you don't have one.
No, I bought one for my son, but
right.
But for me personally, I just haven't found a reason to have one. But I've been, the Pro had me excited at first because I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn.
This game looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. But then the shortcomings that they got with the Pro so far, I don't know. Then, the Slim, I was never interested in it. So then I went to GameStop and I was buying some games. And then I went and I seen that they had a PlayStation original for $229 and they had the Darth Vader face on it and shit. And you know what? I was like, I'm going to cop that.
Wait. They had the Star Vader? They had the Star Wars?
Yeah.
I would have bought that.
I'd have cop that.
They had like 5 of the bitches. So this was GameStop.
I might wire you some money, man. And snatch that up for me, man.
They had 5 of them, and then when I went there one time and I went and got I forgot what games I went and got, but I went back up here because I wanted to pick up my Lost Odyssey, and it still ain't came in yet, so I'm kind of pissed off about that. But anyway, I went up there and they still had like 2 more left. So I'm thinking about if I'm going to get a PlayStation 4, it's going to be the original or it's going to be the Pro. The Slim is absolutely bellies up, man. It's got sharp with a harpoon. It's done. So it was just a waste of time to even make that. Just make the PS4, the original PS4, better, or make the Pro better than what it is. Because I from my standpoint, looking at it, don't half step with that system. Especially when the Scorpio's coming and it's going to already be more powerful. Do all you can to make all the games native 4K if you can. Don't show an indie and have Digital Foundry. It looks like something from Pro-Am, but then it's in 4K, and then you got fools throwing. They do got 4K games coming. I saw that. That was disgusting. It's disgusting. So that's what I'm saying. I think that they should have just focused on making the PlayStation 4 better, the original, and then making the Pro a behemoth. That was the only option for them.
Okay, well, I look at it like this. I'm sorry. All day. I'm sorry. Because it can't make it because I'm on promethazine and codeine today. If I forget, I want to add on to what you're saying, but I want all day to chime in before I go.
All right, cool.
Just keep your bookmark make it for me, just in case I forget.
Right, I got you. All
right, all day. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
I just think, I don't know, man. The Slim is pretty much worthless. I mean, unless you really don't have a PS4. I think it's a good stocking stuffer for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like people like me or a lot of people that I game with, I mean, we're more either PlayStation, Xbox don't really matter. But at the same time, I mean, the PlayStation fans, I think they'd be a little bit more wary on picking up a lot of titles on Broketober and November.
He's called it Broketober.
Yeah, Broketober, man. It's a lot of games coming out, man. I think
it's the holiday rush, man. Right?
It's a holiday rush. So
we get this every year. If you're a gamer, every year around this time between the end of September until about Black Friday or whatever the hell, we get this influx of titles. Whether it's exclusive, we got the AAA multiplex. It's every year.
So yeah, man. Either it's gonna be a nice gift for somebody who doesn't have a PS4 already. So I honestly think a lot of people are just trying to stock up on games, man, trying to get themselves for Black Friday to go ahead and walk in the store and see all this games that you already want for your console and compare it to buying how much is it? $399, $400 console. It's like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get that TV first, make justice of the purchase first, then go ahead and purchase the console. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, well, like I said, just to play I'm gonna play good cop, get a good cop, bad cop here. like I've always said, and like I said, I take my hat off to Microsoft and those guys. But and I would say I wasn't a big fan of the Xbox One S. I just thought it made no sense to me to take your problems that you had with the bigger Xbox One or whatever the case. And when I say about problem, the thing that I guess was the thorn in Microsoft's side was not being able to achieve 1080p, more often. And again, I think it's kind of silly, but it's been that we all know that's been the arguing point just for the last 3 years of this generation. You know what I mean? That Sony was perceived to have the more powerful console. And I'm not, and it is. They have a 2 terabyte GPU just about, and Microsoft has like a 1 terabyte GPU. Facts. That's something you can't negate. But you have what you call specs on papers and real world performance. I've always said if games look at 50 or 100% better on my PS4, I would buy them, multi-plat, on my PS4 Pro. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, PS4 period. To me, because maybe the upscaler that in the HANA 2.0, whatever the case. I'm not saying games may look a little better. I guess if it was that noticeable, Digital Foundry want to have these $30,000 PCs to break them down frame by frame. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But again, I said this. You are entitled to pay for what you want. You like what you want, but it wasn't a big enough reason for me to make the PlayStation my primary console of choice, which I don't have a problem with. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Microsoft did some bonehead shit. Don't ever sacrifice the specs of your console to include a peripheral. You see, Nintendo just got their teeth kicked in with the Wii U being anemic, and I can go all day about this. But anyway, like I said, I didn't think it was a reason enough to get the Slim. But what made me buy the Slim back in the day because of the HDR, you know what I mean, and which was huge to me, and Blu-ray and upscaling, things to 4K. And yeah, I know, and like I said, maybe from some of these weirdos here on YouTube, the people, what I'm telling you what's worse? People that act like they're neutral, but know they're not fucking neutral, was saying, well, there's really no need for the Xbox One S because your TV, you have a 4K TV, it upscales. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Trust me, it's much better, a sharper image that your console doing the work than upscaling the image to before your TV gets the signal. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it's a much clearer picture. You know what I mean? Much, much better. But that's not even the word, much, much better. But it's a better, it's a better looking picture. But anyway, as I was saying, that let me choose my words wisely here. Like I said, I give them credit. I didn't think this was going to take off the way that it did. And again, whether a lot of Sony fans don't like to admit this, the sole reason, but just about the way the PS3 was selling at the start of the generation, of last generation, was because it was the cheapest Blu-ray player on the market. Let's be clear this. Also, too, the reason why the PS2 sold the way that it did because it was the cheapest DVD player on the market at those times. And even more better, even with the PlayStation 1, way that it sold at start, way that it sold the way it sold because it was a cheap CD player. You can put the CD in the game, like, what I mean? That's when I started buying CDs. It was because of my PlayStation 1. Just to be honest with you, you know what I mean? So I know I told you guys, I received some documents from a certain person that's not in the gaming industry, but in the TV industry, more or less, you know what I mean? And I know why Sony didn't include the 4K Blu-ray player, because the SoC chips they were going to use for their 4K Blu-ray, they weren't ready. They're not going to be ready until next year. That's when you see Sony coming out with their own 4K Blu-ray player to be next year. That's why, you know what I mean? Because it was like a no-brainer. So when we got those reports that Sony may be pushing back the quote-unquote the PS4 Pro, we all heard the rumors. It wasn't never to compete with Scorpio. Right? I keep telling people this time and time and again. It was never to compete with Scorpio. Sony knew from the offset that Microsoft, the Scorpio, was going to be more powerful than the Pro. You know what I mean? Because if you listen to what Phil said, something like I said, just common sense, but it is what it is. If you listen to what Phil said, he said we could have put out a console this year. More or less, like I said, the technology is here to have a 6 teraflop console right now. The tech is already here. You know what I mean? You didn't have to wait the next year to do that. But the chips and stuff that they want to use, as far as Zen, Vega, and all that other shit, is not going to be ready until next year, which basically gives us 4K gaming, affordable, very affordable. You know what I mean? And then what you have, what's on the market now, you know what I mean? Much more affordable. People, I guess sometimes you when a lie is more entertaining than the truth. but it was never to make the PS4 more powerful. It was to include the 4K Blu-ray player. I think Sony underestimated Microsoft, and then Mark, and maybe I want to say them just getting cocky, was saying, the PS4 Pro, is going to sell right now because we're already kicking ass, and the PS4 Pro is going to sell. Let's be clear, people are going to go out and buy it, but nothing I know. The fact that what Microsoft did was ingenious. That this is why Sony didn't show the Pro at E3. It's not that they didn't have anything to show. We got games that are coming out now, and whether people again choose to believe it or not, like I told again, it doesn't even matter. But the multiplats and everything they show now going forward, we saw the Watch Dogs trailer back then, and this was told to me by this same individual that works at this big major thing. They have to show their games in the best light. Instead of using the PC version or whatever, they're going to start using the Pro version or the Scorpio version or whatever. But you have 2 years of R&D. Let's be clear this, to make sure the console doesn't overheat, and you can't just scrap that and say, we're going to put more RAM. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? You got 2 years. They got make sure, like we all seen the debacle with the red ring of death. You can't just up and say, oh, we're going to stick this in. It doesn't work like that. That was the case when Sony came out, before E3 of last year, that they were going to have the more powerful box than Microsoft. Microsoft could have added some more this, that, and the other. Only thing they could do was overclock the GPU a little bit and the CPU, but that's it. You can't just, stick this in there. You have, like I said, you got 2 years of R&D to make sure this goddamn console doesn't overheat and X, Y, and Z. That's just business. You can't just turn to the spur of the moment. What you get is what you got. But I just not saying I think it's funny. I think that going forward now, and once again, it's healthy for the industry that we all love. Whether who wins or sells what. The fact that Microsoft's able to turn around and win a few months, and to be clear, it's not like they were getting their teeth stomped out, especially here in North America. I don't know about the rest of the UK, but and also too, the PlayStation's out in way more territories still than the Xbox. So for whatever reason, but I think that maybe now going forward, I hope so that we can just maybe talk about games, because you see the narrative changing, that it's not really about resolution and stuff. Well, 4K upscaling, which I find funny as hell. I had one guy call me, "Oh, you guys are talking about 4K. You guys preach for 3 years that resolution," and it's not a big deal with me. I've always said this, but you guys have pushed this narrative for 3 years. You know what I mean? 1080p will give me death. I don't give a fuck, but I've said for forever that Digital Foundry is a biased site. Bias. Bias. Now they're saying, which is cool, and I'm not saying games are not going to look great on the PS. I'm going to sit there and say that, but you're telling me that it's okay and it's not a big deal to upscale from 1080p to 4K. Which is 4K is basically 4 times the resolution of 1080p, more or less, give or take. That's not that big of a deal, but to upscale from 900p to 1080p, like, come on, man. We've all seen the matchup. And Porter Rock, you're a Sony dude. And it's which is cool. All the fanboy shit set aside. Do you find that ironic now that they're saying that it's not that big of a deal? Like, Digital Foundry. What's my man? I hate the way he talks. Sound like some fuck. I can't even say this word on air. People say I'm phobic or some shit. But that British squeaking talking motherfucker. But like, well, the way that Sony is able to achieve 4K is just downright beautiful. And like what are your thoughts on that, Porter Rock? Like, you don't find that like funny as hell? You like, damn, like now it's okay.
Stop hating on Britain, son. Stop hating on Britain.
Hey, my boy,
man, but I don't like that fucking talk. But
my boy the Don from
that
motherfucker. He calls them those cartoon dudes, those clay guys, and vomit or some shit.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, that's what he calls them. That shit be cracking me up because that sounds just like their ass. But my bad.
What I mean? But even because not being have to go on audio, but do you guys find that it's funny that now, it's okay to or it's not a big, which I think again is always sort of silly for console games to be arguing about resolution and frames per second. But do you find it funny now that it's okay to checkerboard rendering instead of the other?
Go ahead, Porter Rock.
All right, so this is my opinion on the whole topic. I think the reason why it's not so much of a big deal and seriousness is because of expectation. Nobody was really expecting to play native 4K in such a fast time frame. But in 2000, Yeah, oh yeah, because really the whole native 4K blew up once Microsoft unveiled it in June. You know what I'm saying? But before June's E3, no one was really talking about, oh, we need to have our games running in 4K.
And the PC guys been
that was there, but the
with
PC only
religiously.
fucking talks about fucking, you know what I'm saying? But on consoles, that wasn't when we, especially when Zaire was talking about you know, new consoles are coming out. The expectation was more powerful consoles, but no one actually ever really thought it's gonna be native 4K 60 frames until Microsoft officially unveiled it come June. You know what I'm saying? But let's go back to 2013 and before it. Everybody at that time had a 1080p TV, and we already had 8 years of consoles that couldn't do 1080p. So everybody was like, all right, we got it. Sony and Microsoft released HD console for the first time. We only got 720p, and sometimes not even that. We should be seeing after 8 years, which is the longest stretch of console. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? 8 years after the longest stretch of a generation, and they still couldn't get 1080p. Now, I will say this. Sony didn't really do a good job of consistent 1080p either, but it's kind of like having two sons, and one son comes home with a C+, but the other one comes home with an F and fucking punch the kid and is about to get kicked out of school. You're not gonna fucking slam your son who got a C+ because he's doing okay. You have to worry about this asshole who's about to get kicked out of school, and that's kind of what happened with Xbox. PS4 didn't do too bad, but Xbox did worse, so now everybody's ragging on Xbox.
But what I'm saying,
the expectation was 1080p.
Oh no. Okay, let me reword this. And you're absolutely right. I don't give Microsoft a pass for that. But what I'm saying, that was, you know, that's never really been the topic of conversation about resolution on the console side of things. Is what I'm saying.
It was growing. It was growing in the 360. Once we got into 360 and PS3, it was already there. Like, one of the biggest topics of resolution was Grand Theft Auto 4 when that game came out. It was like 720p 30 frames on Xbox. It was like 640p on PlayStation 3, and that shit was a huge deal. And Digital Foundry not only made it a huge deal, but like 4 months later, they revisited it and brought the topic again and broke it down why the PS3 was like 640p.
Okay.
So people was talking about resolution back then because I wasn't paying attention to that shit.
Yeah, it was
the game looked pretty. The game looked pretty. If it didn't,
it was beginning. So it was the start. Once we got into HD consoles, the whole resolution thing was beginning. It was getting worse over time, year by year. You know what I'm saying? So this whole resolution war didn't start out of nowhere. It began with the PS3 360. It's just getting worse as more time gets on. And it's going to get worse even more, I think, with 4K. It's just going to keep growing.
Okay. All right. Well put. And I'm not saying, well, what I'm saying, I'm not saying, but and Puerto Rock, yeah, absolutely right. But what I'm saying, it was never deciding factor of whether you're going to purchase the game or not, because it wasn't in 1080p. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have what I'm saying, basically, we didn't have a problem.
Well, back then it wasn't 1080p. Back then it was.
Well, I'm just saying. 720p or 540p, that didn't sway a person.
Nobody I know was talking about that. Nobody that I know. No, I mean, I'm watching. I was watching the IGNs and the game trailers and all of that, and I don't pay attention to Digital Foundry worth anything, but that wasn't the talk. You know, it was talking about what games were coming out, what games were broken. You know, or what games didn't play, like when BioShock didn't work, or when Skyrim was broken on the PS3. Those were the topics that was brought up, but not about even the frames or the resolution. That stuff to me is just that was this generation's.
Well, no, like I said, it's bigger now, and now, like, if you weren't around paying attention to YouTube during PS3 360, you would be oblivious. But it was happening. Like, you look at Digital Foundry, you can look in their archives. They have head-to-heads on shitloads of 360.
Now, see, that sounds like some thirsty motherfuckers that just was wanting to find some reason to talk about, to try to make this resolution shit relevant.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's how it began.
No, but Microsoft didn't know about this themselves. Remember the 360. Hold on. Remember the 360 boxes? The 360 boxes used to have the resolutions on the disc, on the back and stuff. They used to show you whether it's in 4 HD or not and stuff. Yeah. So it was a big deal last gen.
But let me tell you something. You can go on YouTube. Look at I think it's the 2006 or 7 E3 when Peter Moore was the head of Xbox.
Yes.
Right? And in that year, PS3 and 360 had Madden, right? So Peter Moore, because it was the first time EA started working on PS3, so that version of Madden was fucked up. It was only running on 30 frames.
Yeah.
It wasn't running the full 60.
Yeah.
So Peter Moore on stage, at E3 on stage, he says, this holiday season, you can play Madden exclusive. And he said something to the effect of, you can play Madden, the only place to play at full 720p at a solid 60 frames per second. And Xbox is the only place to play this game.
So
my man, Peter Moore was the fucking man.
So what it sounds like to me is that consoles always trying to catch up to this goal they can never reach.
Yes, I agree. In my opinion, these guys always advertise, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then when the consoles come out, it doesn't really do that.
Well, I think that's changing for the fact because the architecture is more PC friendly compared to what the other consoles were back then. You know, none of the consoles were nowhere near to the capacity of what a PC was back in the mid 2000s to what a PC is now. So I think it's finally to where, I guess when you go back to the 90s and you look at how PC gamers were and how they were way behind the consoles, and then when it got to the 2010s or whatever, that PCs are now so far ahead. Yes. Now I think consoles are now starting to make that push to come back and get back into that point. Now, I don't think they'll ever catch PC. Not for the diehard PC guys that will buy, that will spend. Well, this is what my point. I you know, for the people that are diehard that will spend thousands of dollars to get their PC to be at its finest, the majority of PC gamers, as we found out, they'll brag and talk about, you know, about their great ass PC rigs, but then they're just, you know, average at best. So therefore, when the consoles catch up to that, like, so when the Scorpio and I guess maybe the Pro will be here, it still will be more powerful than their average PCs, but there'll always be those diehards out there. They'll have the best and most finest equipment possible. They'll always stay ahead, but I think the consoles are finally starting to pick it up. So, you know, I really do, especially with the Scorpio coming out.
Yeah, with me, like with PC gamers, I don't really argue because it's not a closed platform made by one company, you know. And you got multiple companies; they will release a video card every year. So no shit is going to be the most powerful platform because a new card comes out every year. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you're willing to spend the money, then yeah, you're gonna have the most powerful platform.
And that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I don't really put that argument. Like, don't get PCs stronger. You know what I'm saying? But if it doesn't provide the games that I want or whatever, or if I have to worry about fucking how I get updates and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Or compatibility issues or stuff like that. There's just a level of simplicity that I don't, you know, that I want. You know, it's lazy. I just want my shit to be lazy. I just want my shit to be plugged in.
No, that's why the consoles.
I'm a real lazy.
Yeah, that's why I feel that the consoles do have a benefit. I wish Shadows was here to compliment me on this, because the fact that it's just plug and play, a true plug and play with a console. With the PC, it's a whole different animal. Like, there's some games you got to patch. I mean, just look at what I believe it was Mafia III. Yeah, it's cheaper. It was like $40. I was planning on getting it, but then I was like, oh no, I'll go ahead and get it on console. And it was a good thing because it was broken on the PC and it wasn't functioning very well. So
I remember Batman Night was
Batman. Oh yeah, well Watch Dogs was horrible. No Man's Sky. I was supposed to get a hookup copy for it, and that shit was so bad that you know what I'm saying, it's the worst rated Steam game ever of all fucking time. The game is just trash. So it's just one of these things, man, where a PC does have benefits in certain areas. If you're a graphic whore, yes, you will always have the benefit on PC. But when it comes to just plug and play, just get your disc, put that motherfucker in there, let it play. And sometimes the console games might have some issues, but you get a patch like within a day, and then you're ready to roll. So it's a big difference. While PC might take weeks, months, or you got to figure that shit out yourself.
I gotta say on the PC issue.
So hold on, let me introduce you. Delays, we got a guest today, my man Dean, the tech guy, come in here to give his expertise on the whole the article from Phil, but we ain't got there. So shout out Dean. But we get what's going on? Talk to us, Dean.
Yeah, so on the PC, I have to agree with you guys because I've pretty much got everything here, and PC is definitely not as user friendly as console. I'll give you an example. Gears of War, I'm in the preview program on PC, the Windows 10 preview program, and there's like some type of bug in there right now where I can't even launch Gears of War for the PC.
Wow.
I haven't even tried to.
Wait, I got one question for Dean real quick.
Go ahead.
On the PC side of things, to play anywhere, is it true that you can only play co-op and campaign on Gears of War 4 with crossplay?
No, I can't say that because in Forza, I was able to play with my buddies on Xbox One, and I was on the PC. So
yeah, because I think I heard that you cannot play a multiplayer match cross-platform.
No, that's well, I know that. I don't know about Gears because I haven't tried mine yet. But I know for a fact that Forza you can, and for Killer Instinct, because I was playing Killer Instinct on the PC while I was playing 100 and the rest of the crew while they was on the Xbox Ones, and it was smooth as hell. So I remember no problem.
I think the dude from Coalition, I don't remember if this was he was mentioning somebody about a few months ago about I think he didn't want the PC players having an advantage over the controller users. You know what I mean? Something
that
like
was I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody just said that. I forgot.
I forgot. I was wondering because I know my friend said that the co-op and the campaign on PC and Xbox works fucking fantastic. It works great.
I haven't tried it in Gears, but I tried it with Forza, and it was smooth sailing for me.
Yeah, it was smooth.
Well, Dean, I'm about to turn you up. Your mic. People say they can barely hear you. I gotta turn your mic. Right.
Yeah.
So you want to have a Nigerian microphone again, bro? There you got going on.
I still can't find my headset, man.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn you up because they can barely hear you. They said, hold on. But like I said, because I'm having trouble hearing you. From what I gather, what D is saying, or even what K Maker was saying, and not saying I'm an expert on PC. I want to say this because I don't want to just saying it's just hard. Steam. It is user friendly. You can put it in quote unquote big TV mode, or I forgot what you call it, and it's you can control everything with your controller. But the issue is with me, and maybe they have changed this because I played on the PC a game probably about a year and a half or so, maybe even 2 years. Thinking about giving away my account. I think I'm done with PC gaming. But anyway, Kate Megan, you were saying about performance issues, and the reason for that is that you have 1,000 different iterations on PC. You understand what I'm saying? They give you the lowest common denominator which you need to run the game, but from there going forward, the combination is unlimited. You understand what I'm saying? He may have 2 Titans, he may have 1 Titan, he may have 6, he may have. There's a lot of different.
Your build experience is what you make it yourself,
right?
And the problem, like I said, the advantage that console would always have over PC gamers is that developers are able to target those set specs that are within the box 100% of the time because they know what's there in every console. You understand what I'm saying? They know what's there. You know what I mean? Even though I remember before these consoles launched, and there were not everyone more was on board with it, but there was a pushback from the Xbox community, there was a pushback from the PlayStation community, saying, "Hey, we just got these consoles and yeah." But Phil said it best, which like I've always said, even with me, this will made me buy a gaming. I said made me because that generation that happened in 2004 to 7th gen, way too long and wasn't healthy for gaming. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason why consoles will never catch PCs performance. When the 360 and the PS3 came out, and the 360 came out in 2005, the PS3 came out in 2006. And for those times, they had the more, they had the top specs on the market for that time. You know what I mean? We're getting what do you call it? Voice back from somebody. I don't know if that's you or not. Did you mute your mic? Let me see. I think it is. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, but I'm sorry. So for those times, but that 8 or 9 year console life cycle, that's not normal. And it was unhealthy, quote unquote, for the industry. You know what I mean? And I do blame it on the Kinect because when Microsoft launched the Kinect, I believe it was in 2010, that was rebranding the console. the French, you know what I mean, that, you know, that gave us another 3 years, you know what I mean, because it sold like fucking hotcakes, you know what I mean, and Microsoft wanted to make some of their money back for the whole quote unquote Red Ring of Death. It is what it is, and Sony also was losing money hand over fist with the PlayStation 3 because, you know, it wasn't, you know, they were losing money on each console sold because of the sell. Well, they own the tech for the Blu-ray play, you know what I mean? But you remember, they get within a year and a half to get that fucking price cut down to $400, whatever the case may be.
And they took away the backwards compat and all that. Yeah, they did the PS Slim and all that. They would kind of like what they're doing now. They're trying to get rid of the original PS4 so they can have.
Which is cool. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day,
that's
if they do that, you know, what I mean, as long as the games are forward and backwards compatible. You know what I mean? If you think about it, it's 3 years. Who doesn't? If you're not going to buy a PlayStation by now, you're on the fence. Well, as long as they still make a library.
Sony always does that, though. They always get rid of the vanilla model.
Whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not saying longest they make the library forwards and both backwards compatible. It's the gift and the curse. We're not going to get any games that's going to be, quote unquote, fully take advantage of the PS4 Pro's hardware because of they have to run on the standard PlayStation 4. Well, you know, I won't even say that because you know what? They are using x86, and what was told to me by the developer, like I've always said, let's think about playing the game in low settings or high settings. You understand what I'm saying? How you may have a 560 Ti, I may have a Titan X, but we're able to still enjoy the same game. And of course, it's going to look and run better on my Titan. You know what I mean? But like I said, had that game be fully optimized to take advantage of that Titan and all the bells and whistles, of course, the game will look much, you know what I mean, better. You know what I mean? But anyway, like I said, you know, not to get too long with it, I want to talk today about the whole Zen stuff. One of the issues, like I said, maybe they fixed this, but I remember I bought a whole bunch of games from the Steam Summer Sale, and when I got my first rig, my iBuy Power, a lot of them shits didn't boot up. You know what I mean? There was no customer service. Who the hell do I call? I kept going back, getting the blue screen of death. You understand what I'm saying? I had to go dumpster diving on this Russian site to patch a file. And like Puerto Rico said, I just want to sit on my ass and just play the game. And I'm fine with how the visuals look right now on these quote unquote these consoles that we have now. Now, maybe Dave, that if this shit going for another 8-9 years, which I don't think, but you know, then like I said, those games will start to look a little dated. You know what I mean? And you know, you know, because I like what's new, what's hot as far as graphics. That's always been my thing. You know what I mean? But like I said, I just think now. And maybe you guys may feel different. I just think moving forward, that we kind of probably move away from generations. You know what I mean? As far as I think that both consoles are both Microsoft are going to probably stay with x86 because it's cheaper for developers. Because you know all games are made on PC anyway. Then you know what I mean. As long as they stay with x86, I think just going forward, just every 3 years or so, 4 years, that we're going to get something new that probably be both forward and backwards compatible.
I just hope that it's upgradable. I hope the Scorpio is upgradable. I know that they're still gonna that Killer Field said.
What do you mean about upgradable?
Like I know Killer Field said that he's already working on the next Xbox or whatever, and then you know of course that's PlayStation 5 finna come or whatever eventually. But I hope that it's upgradable in the sense of like
he wants it to be like a PC.
Yeah, like in the PC form, like for somebody who says that, you know, I'm cool with what I have right now, but if they have the option to have their own like special AMD card that Xbox can sell, and I could put that in there, that would be dope. And that, you know what I'm saying, and that also will generate, well, because remember Phil Spencer said that he wanted to get to that golden mark of 200 million sold Xbox Ones. So that tells you right there that I don't think there's going to be too many name changes or anything like that. He wants that brand, the Xbox One brand, to sell 200 million. So that's why I have this thought in my head that they're going to go that route one way or another. If not for the Scorpio, damn sure for the next iteration of the console. So that way, as you said, that it would stop the generations and it would have the people to choose if they want to upgrade, just like a PC.
Well, you know what? I see the gift and the curse with that because if we start to do that, right, and then it comes in a return as far as optimization, where we're not going to have not be fully optimized on consoles, you know, and not saying you don't have games that launch with bugs, but what I mean by that is the fact that we all see how Gears of War 4, is running on a standard Xbox One, especially that red lightning stage. Like, my God, that can probably you could probably make arguments that that's probably one of the best looking games on any platform.
It's definitely comparable to Rise by that scene alone. Well, hell, by the intro when it comes in into Act 1 and that big ass red tornado comes in and they're blocking it off for the city. That is amazing. Like, I haven't seen anything like that. That's crazy. And so if anybody's laughing about DirectX 12 and saying that shit ain't real, no, you keep playing Gears 4, you'll see how things break up. You can shoot rocks and stuff, and yeah, that's
that Unreal 4 though. That's what's really pushing that. You know what I mean? Unreal 4 engine is amazing.
Yeah, with the DirectX 12 and you know what I'm saying, involved in it in some way, shape, or form by the destruction and particles all around and stuff, because that's a lot of stuff going on at one time
they get there with using because it's in the PC presets, they're using tiled resources and they're using asynchronous compute. And
people don't know what that is, because I haven't talked about tiled resources in forever.
Well, tiled resources is it's like a compression, so they can get 3 gigs of textures out of I think it's 48 gigs of 48 megabytes. They compress it and recompress it. I don't want to get into all the details of it, but it's a compression algorithm, and they can get a lot more out of the same. So say they're using
think of it as WinZip.
Yeah, exactly.
File, but you're emailing a 500 meg file, even though it's 3 gigs, and then you unzip it, and it's it's something like that.
And they don't use this enough in games, and this will allow them to use much better textures. Because if you look at the Gears of War on Xbox One and you look at it on PC, they virtually look the same, man.
I'm gonna say one thing about cross-gen. I mean, no gen for consoles. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm not for it. I'm not for removing generation consoles. Because for removing.
Wait, you're not with what? I'm sorry, you're not with what?
Removing generational consoles, getting rid of that concept. I'm still for generational consoles.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and the reason I'll tell you why. So let's say the PS5 comes out, right?
Okay.
So we got the Neo, then the PS5 comes out.
Okay.
But there's no generational console, so games made for the PS5 still works on the PS4. That means that game's not going to take full advantage of PS5 hardware because it has to, in some form or fashion, run on 4.
It has to switch over.
Yeah, so to me, we just created the bullshit we wanted to get away from cross-gen gaming, like Destiny version on PS4 and Destiny version on PS3.
Okay. I got to disagree with that.
If you make a game built for the PS5, how can it run on the 4?
Okay.
It won't.
If
PS5 has 24 gigs and you take advantage of
it.
How are you going to put it?
To go back to what I just said, even with Destiny, they already scrapped the 360 and PS3 version.
That's what I'm saying. I think
eventually it's going to have to go.
Exclusively built for the most powerful hardware.
Okay.
Going forward, I gotta say this. Going forward, x86 is what they're using now. So it doesn't matter because they're using the PC architecture. So just like an old 10-year-old, 12-year-old game still works on PC, they're all going to work going forward because they're on the same architecture. The PS3, they were running the cell crap. It was a completely different architecture, completely different way of them doing the programming. So going forward, the PS5, the PS6, whatever, as long as they're on x86, it's going to work.
Right.
It's just going to scale it. It's just going to scale it to the capability of your hardware.
Can I just say one thing quickly?
Yeah.
Like Gears of War 4 just came out and it's motherfucking fire, and you guys are talking about hardware. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? The hell is wrong with you guys, man? Gears of War.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that things will be upgradable. Let me give a shout out to Kelvin Brandon, man. He said saying that dude is a genius, man. Like he said DirectX 12 is built in Unreal Engine 4. So I knew that it had some of that capability in there because you don't see that type of shit in other games. But I think it's the way of the future, just for the fact because just look how much they're spending on games right now. And if you get newer hardware, that's more money that they got to spend into it, plus for the money that they got to spend on the games, And that's going to, and so pretty soon if you have, let's say, a PlayStation 7, an Xbox 10, you know what I'm saying? Then what you're going to be looking at is the games are going to cost as much as the damn consoles to make, because it's so much. It takes so much money and it holds so much memory. So why not have those consoles be upgradable and have the customer make that choice, and those companies will still generate a lot of money because they're getting nothing but all profit now, instead of having to make a new hardware system to where they lose money. You see what I'm saying? That's where the benefit is.
There's one thing. The technology is available for that right now. They can do it on PC with the X Connect, I think it's called, something like that, and you can put a GPU through your USB port, so through a Lightning port. So they have the capability to do it right now. So it's not really that hard to implement, to be honest.
I can just tell you this from my standpoint. If I'm looking at, I got Lost Planet on the PC, and I think it's up to DirectX 11, and I had it on the 360 and on the PlayStation 3. And the looks of the graphics on that DirectX 11 on my PC, where the dude's fur and shit is like you can see every strand to what it looked like then. And that is a 7-8-year-old game. It's ridiculous. So I don't see any drop off. You'll just see enhancements in every game that comes out, even your older games, man. It's going to be amazing.
Well, Porter Rock, you there?
Yeah,
okay.
What I was saying is, so these says, x86 architecture.
Yeah.
And even on PC, a lot of the newer games have a minimum spec. So there's going to be a certain point, some video cards won't work no more at all. You're going to have to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? So even PC has minimum specs requirements for games.
Yeah. You know what?
So the question is, on consoles, when do we get to that point? When do we go?
I would say
after 3 or 4 iterations.
After like 6 years, you might see stuff like that.
No, I say, fuck it. I hope the Scorpio is going to be the first one to do it. I
don't think that's going to be.
There's not Scorpio is not.
First of all, is what I say about. Something can change, but I don't see that being the first console being upgradable, because this is the first mid-cycle refresh. So they're not going to just throw caution to the ring,
I'll be honest. I don't think console's gonna go with upgrades, because you got to look at the logistics behind it.
Well, just look at the 360. No, I disagree, Porter Rock. Just look at the 360. The 360 was the first console of any generation that upgraded itself. When you bought it from day one,
when you bought it, had an upgrade to it.
Well, not like how no, I'm talking about how the system itself from the internal state.
You're talking firmware, or
from the firmware. From what it looked like then, and for what it looked like, what it looks like now, and then for everything that was implemented in between. I mean, that no console has ever done that at that time.
That's not the same as, because the firmware upgrades, those are, it gets pushed
software
out.
Side of things.
That's more software. If you're trying to push hardware upgrades, you have to understand, if you're going to release upgraded components, let's say Microsoft manufactures upgrade hardware, that costs money. So when they push it out on the stores, they need people to buy it. It's not one of those, upgrade if you feel like it. No. Microsoft spent money making those parts. That becomes either hardware revenue profit or hardware revenue loss.
AMD if you got to deal with AMD to have your own type of upgradable graphics card, and they're not going to. You telling me that they're not going to get money? People are going to for the money hungry people. Yeah, for the people that are graphical whores.
Huh?
Oh, is he talking or what is he doing?
I don't know.
Oh, my bad.
Listen to you, Mega. What happened?
Okay, no. If I'm saying, if you don't think that they're not gonna generate money, they're gonna generate money hand over fist both ways. For the people that don't care about upgrading their system, they're fine the way they are. They're gonna still have money to. They're still gonna be making money because they got more money to spend on games that people will buy. And then for the other people that want to have upgrades, every time that they get the opportunity to do it, they'll buy every time that there's something new to be upgraded with, they'll buy it. and that money's still going to go to them. So that's what I'm saying. It's a win-win if all three companies do it. I mean, why do you think PC is profitable like they are?
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I agree with you, and I disagree with you.
Okay,
it's kind of a fine line with which defines us as quote unquote being console gamers. Because if we are going to follow that mode, they can stand the potential of actually losing customers. Because if I'm going to keep upgrading this or whatever the case, I might as well just game on quote unquote a PC. But like I said in the day, I think I think
it's not that easy next gen to be just jumping onto PC.
No,
it's not.
If you're going to subscribe to that business model, what I'm saying about this, the reason why I know that the Scorpio is not going to be upgradable because Phil just came out and said they're working on a successor to the Scorpio.
Right.
That's right there. And also too, like I said, this is the first time that we're really doing a quote unquote a console refresh, or but there is pros and cons, to what Porter Rock was saying. Just look at it like this, Porter Rock. No longer will we have to wait to get a Gears of War, a God of War, a Halo this, or Forza that. We can get them shits day and date because they have the quote unquote already the install base. That's the reason why you don't get too many AAA block, like the big guns on the launch of new hardware, because those games take so much to make. And you understand what I'm saying? That they want the install base to be there. The reason why I said, like, you look at Halo 5 compared to Gears of War 4, and I'm not, like I said in the day, I'm not really a big Halo dude, but I do expect, like I said, Gears to far outsell Halo because the install base is much bigger. You understand that? Just by they're going to win by default. You understand that? But again, what Dean was saying, as long as they still use x86, unless they move away from that, unless they come out with some direct X13 or something that these cards or GPUs, whatever, they can't support that within these consoles. Just look at it, like I said, I guess I don't know what technology Sony is using. I don't know, but just on the Microsoft thing with the whole universal UDP that, games will scale up or scale down. I just look at it like there's only Microsoft side of things. I don't really know what Sony's doing or whatever. That's just the Xbox One S or the Xbox is going to be the introduction into their ecosystem going forward. And games, just nothing. Just look at it like this. You look at the 360, right, and the PS3. Those consoles came out 2005, over 10 years ago, and they're still getting games that we're playing on our quote unquote next generation consoles. Which if they were x86, if they were though, they would still be getting everything day and date. They just won't be as prettier.
But even those games are emulation based on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying this like the Destiny. If trust me, had the PS3 and the 360 been x86, and they will still be getting the same goddamn game. They just be running at a very, very low setting. Like I said, the big jump from console thing, and what people still not understanding, it's kind of, I guess, hard for console guys to wrap their mind around is that they're both x86. That's this program with what they use on PCs. The Xbox One and the PS4 are basically PCs, and when you start talking about CPUs and this and the other, they're nothing but fucking PCs in a closed environment. That they are. But But like I said, the reason why I prefer consoles is A, because of the controller. I'm not really with that mouse and keyboard shit. B, because simplicity of sit down, like I said, plug and play. Everything, as far as they go on Steam, you don't have that same quote unquote quality control. As far as, I'm not saying you don't have buggy games that launch on consoles. I'm not saying that. But consoles are more supported. The reason as far as developers with money, because you understand with PC have a high rate of privacy, and I'm not saying that it's not money to be made, because they're not dealing with any middleman. You're just dealing with buying straight, basically 99.9% from Steam or whatever, Origin or Uplay or whatever, and you're just dealing with them one-on-one, so they're able to give the game to you much cheaper. You understand what I'm saying? But we'll see. I guess we're just gonna see how the PS4 Pro sell. If the PS4 Pro and the Scorpio is successful, and there's no pushback from the customer, I just think every 3 to 4 years we're going to see something new until, like I said, they move away from x86, or maybe if these consoles if they say direct X13 for whatever reason, just say direct DX13 is something new, and it can't be supported on the quote unquote on the standard Xbox, or even though PS4, Sony doesn't use DirectX, they use whatever's equivalent to it, then they're going to be around for a while.
You'll start losing the casuals, though. I tell you, I really do.
Basically, what I'm saying, the 360 and the PS3, just think about that, are still around, and they're still game, and that's very dated hardware. I don't know if that's a testament to speak to the industry that we in. How games are not more or less pushing the envelope, but it's much different than from the Super Nintendo to the Nintendo 64. Like, we way beyond that. And I just think and I think a lot of console gamers are looking at it from that aspect. Like, damn, when I got a Super Nintendo 64, games couldn't run on you had to get new hardware. I just don't think it's going to be like that.
I still run across people that still play on 360 and PS3.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I'm not knocking those that do. I'm just saying that he was saying that he wants games to take advantage of their hardware. I believe that they will. At the end of the day, it's still.
Yeah, so like on PC, like you said, the games will work across x86. But let's take, for example, fucking The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 has certain minimum specs. Mm-hmm. Even though it's x86, you still have to have a minimum level of hardware.
But you got.
Now, let's say we did this on console. Let's say the next Xbox after Scorpio Neo, they come out with 24 gigs of of memory. RAM.
You know what? I gotta say on the PC side.
So let's say the next consoles, the PS5 and the new Xbox, whatever.
Okay.
The Xbox Taurus has 24 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of RAM.
Okay.
But if these games are still being made for the PS4 and Xbox One, 2 8-gig consoles, you can't tell me these games are optimized for the PS4.
No, I'm not saying.
So we buy new consoles, and our shit's going to be held back.
No, what I'm saying is this.
Hardware.
What I'm saying is this. There's still games. Here's the thing. Will games look better and run better, quote unquote, on the PS5 and the Xbox Infinity, whatever you want to call it? Of course. But you still have, even with PC games, you have the lower specs recommended. And again, with far as console being that it's a closed environment, here I'll give it to you like this in layman terms. If you're watching this show right now on a PC, if you hit Control Alt Delete, look at your CPU usage. You understand what I'm saying? That even though you have a GTX 25,000, all that shit is not allocated for gaming, and it's not like that with consoles. Everything within that box is made to take advantage of game as far as optimization. So again, until, like I said, as long as it's still DirectX 12 or whatever the case may be, or that, it's not really the most spec. As long as it still meets the like how look at a card that came out 5 years ago, or you take a 560 whatever hell, and they're still able to get game. They may look like shit or whatever the case, they're still able to do it. So until they come up with a new architecture, or or whatever the case may be, they're going to be around for a while. And the reason why I say that because again, you look at the 360 and the PS3, they're still getting games, and that shit came out when in 2005. It's over 10 years ago. So what I'm saying, this model right here going forward, if this is going to be what it is going to be around for a while, because it's more modern, quote unquote, hardware with technology, because of its x86. And they're not using cell processor. What the fuck? I think the 360 power core or whatever the fuck that they use with the 360 IBM.
But see, this is the only thing I'm going to disagree with you on next gen on this issue, is the fact that if this is true about the cycle, it would be every 2 to 3, 4 years or whatever.
4 years.
Yeah, every 3 to 4 years. Mm-hmm. What you have is a smorgasbord of remake games. And already people hate the remakes. If there's one thing that the console, through the console war, if there's one thing that the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo fans hate, is the fucking remakes. There are too many of them. But if you keep having these systems come out every 3 or 4 years, you're going to have that, because they're going to always still be making games, and you're also going to be having games dumbed down for whatever comes to the PlayStation 5 or to the Xbox, Scorpio, whatever. You're still going to be making games for that previous system, because they have more they have more people that are associated with it. So that's the thing about it, to where I'm saying with upgradable systems or streaming, it alleviates that, period, because all the thing that you have to do then is just go through technology and have all those games that you had from last gen just come on over and work. And I think that's the reason why backwards compatibility is working the way it is on the Xbox One right now, and now since they're trying, Killer Phil and them are trying to work on OG Xbox games to go that route.
That's easy. That's actually that's the original.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing that I'm just saying though, because you open up a can of worms with the whole remake games. Now you can be absolutely.
I'm gonna say this about the remake games. Remake games is like Call of Duty. Everybody says they hate it, but the motherfuckers sell. I mean, at the end of the day, the dollar counts. Everybody says, "Oh, this remake is bullshit," but then as soon as I guarantee, let fucking EA remake Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 for Xbox One in native 4K and see how many people will buy that shit off the bat. Guaranteed. Everybody, and it's just remakes is like the new Call of Duty.
The remakes,
but they'll buy it.
Then that's going to fuck up gaming all around the board.
Well, see,
that's what's going to kill. That's what's going to kill gaming all around the board, though.
Hey, hold on, okay, Mick. I'm trying to find out what you're saying. You're saying that if 3 to 4 years, right? If after Scorpio comes out in 2020 or whatever the hell you want to call it, Scorpio comes out in 2017. Probably Sony's next console will probably be here, probably 2019, 2020, or whatever the case. But you're saying is that, say 3 to 4 years after Scorpio or whatever, that just if whatever might say it's called the Xbox 8 or whatever the hell, you're saying that we're going to suffer from remasters and remakes?
Yes, because of the fact that there's going to be less people. The hardcore like us are going to buy whatever comes out. We're just going to do
exclusive software for it.
But I'm saying, well, no, I'm just saying for it's just look at what happened with the 360. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from the PlayStation 3, they jumped ship. They can talk good about how many sales. I've heard Porter Rock talk about. Well, it outsold the Xbox 360 and all that shit. But yeah, if it was so great and grand, why the hell did y'all jump ship and let it go to the abyss and go to the PlayStation 4?
A lot of people went.
But there's still people that still plays the 360 to this day.
I have a lot of people.
But this is what I'm saying though. You're still going to have people that's going to be partial to just now buy Xbox One S or Xbox Scorpio, and then 3 years later they're like, not 3 years later, but let's say they buy it a year and a half or 6 months before, they be like, damn, I just bought this. A new system's out. They're not going to commit and buy another system. They're going to want to keep to that, and in the fan base that they have, they're going to have to cater to them just like they did with the 360 and the PlayStation 3 by bringing more remakes.
But isn't that what's happening right now with Xbox One?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That would kill the market themselves, because you got to keep making new hardware, and that's hurting the market altogether, because you got to keep making these new systems that cost more money instead of just making just go streaming like PlayStation's been hinting that they're going to do, and then just make an upgradable system. And that way, everybody's happy. You don't have to worry about all them fucking remakes. You can just go to your available store and get the older games and just have
it. But I don't think it's going to be remakes, because it's going to be a x86 architecture.
Not even so much that. I don't think there's going to be any exclusive software.
All the older games are going to work on the new
exclusive software. Then then maybe we may as far as remakes. But if the library, if everything's still true to what Microsoft says, both forward and back compatible, there's no need for a remake or a remaster or whatever, because you can already play those games, quote unquote. I don't think there's going to be an exclusive software. It kind of, like I said, it's the gift and the curse. You know what I mean? And we all have to wait and see how it's done. I hope it's done right. You know what I mean? And and there's no pushback, because I don't want to be confined within the box for 5 to 6 years, or I don't. It just means it's not really practical, especially the way.
Example. 5 years has been the norm. Now 8 to 10 years. I agree.
But even within 5 years, though, look at it like this. Even within 5 years, it's not really practical, because you look at the things on the PC side. Every year there's a new card that look. It's the prime example. NVIDIA, I don't really know much about AMD card. NVIDIA announced the GTX 1070 were basically on par or a little bit more powerful than a Titan or whatever the hell for $300 some odd. You understand what I'm saying? Technology is forever moving forward, and like I said, until they move away from, x86, or just say that there is a new API that comes out from Microsoft to say DirectX 13 or whatever the case, and if those older GPUs or whatever on that side of things can't be updated or or can't run it or whatever the case may be, I think we're going to be. I don't know how long DirectX 11 lasts, how many years, but I think that we're going to be. This is going to be for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're going to.
Here's another thing. In terms of console,
we're gonna have to change this subject because we're going long on this.
But I know we're trying to match. But remember, video cards also has a market besides gaming. It's used for graphic design and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So consoles will never be able to keep pace with PC video cards because there's more of a market besides just gaming. Also, you have to look at the rate games are being made. Right now, we're about to have a second iteration of consoles. Yet we don't even have not one Rockstar game. We're still fucking around with Grand Theft Auto 5. You understand what I'm saying? So the pace of game making, you know what I'm saying? Most games are taking 2 to 3 years to make. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're gonna make a console every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? You buy a console and you're like, God damn, I don't even got a Grand Theft Auto. I'm about to buy another console. I don't even have a Grand Theft Auto 6.
We don't have next gen money, bro. We know what I'm saying? We work.
Let me tell you something.
I bought 2 TVs and then
you switch the subject.
I gotta get into the business.
You ain't seen it
for grandmas, man. I got to get into that.
Hey, yo, we gonna.
I had a Sony Bravia. I got rid of that shit. So I bought 2. I bought this TV. I didn't want it. So I bought another.
Oh yeah, Porter Rock. Mr. Porter Rock.
What's
Mr. Porter Rock. How'd you feel about that last Guardian gameplay that you posted?
For PewDiePie?
Yeah.
I saw it. It looked cool.
We're gonna switch the subject now, but Porter Rock. What is that? Does he have the whole game?
No, they gave him an advanced copy.
Okay, because I've seen from the Tokyo game.
The game don't look bad. It just looks dated. It looks dated.
It looks dated. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's the PlayStation 3 version.
Right,
of the game, same engine, and I don't know. I don't care for those games. I mean, guess those are the fans of the franchise. And it basically looks like they just ported it over and say 1080p 60 frames a second. To me, that's what I get impressions of the game. But
I think it's also going to be sold for $50. I think, right? That's what you said.
Oh, it's going to be $50. It's not going to be 60.
No, it's going to be 50.
That could be a benefit for Sony. That might get people to want to.
I mean, the only reason I'm gonna pick it up is because I'm a fan of Shadow of the Colossus.
And shit.
Well, I played Recore and Shadow of the Colossus. I never beat Shadow of the Colossus, but I did beat Inco.
Oh man, I love Shadows of Colossus.
Well, I like those games. Those games are not bad at all. But they're niche games, though. Yeah. They're niche games. Let's be honest. They're not games that, especially for all day was talking about this earlier today. Look, the PlayStation, what Sony has done with the PlayStation has kind of set the tone of that. Look, multiplats are the key, and we'll just throw you a nugget every once in a while with what games we want to give you. Now, if you throw these niche games in here and say, well, this is for the players, well, this is not what the players has been wanting. They want those multiplats, and then they want those heavy hitters like Uncharted 4, God of War. This game, what I'm saying, for them lowering the price, that's a very smart move by Sony, but still, I don't think it's a console seller. I just don't.
No, it hasn't got to be a console seller. It doesn't have to be a console seller. All it has to be.
They've lost. PlayStation has lost 3 months in a row, man.
Hold on.
That's not
3 months is not the end of the world because PlayStation
3 months
and Xbox like 17 months in a row, and you guys didn't say the sky was falling.
Which is true. I mean,
but
for real. How many months has PlayStation outsold Xbox, and you guys didn't say the sky was falling?
That's what I'm saying.
It's been
that's what I'm saying. Honestly, K-Mega. Honestly, my bro, you need to worry about Recore selling 51,000 copies in his first week. That's fucking horrible. That's what you need to worry about.
Y'all did all that, for real. I was like, this game better sell at least 500,000. Because all these goddamn tweets on my timeline convincing I was about to buy it. I don't even own an Xbox.
It wasn't even marketed that way.
Buy Recore. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to buy Recore.
Horrible marketing.
Shut up.
It hasn't been marketed well, but the fact of it is look, watch. See, you
It hasn't
laughing
been
now.
marketed well. Nigga, that shit's on
laughing.
front page of the Xbox Marketplace. Try the demo. They're hustling that shit, nigga.
Okay, but that's people who already has the game. I'm talking about you sending out commercials and things of that nature. Okay, I don't know what the sales are. The sales numbers are yet. I have no idea.
Right now they're saying in America
51,000, nigga.
Okay, in America alone, it says what, 51,000?
51,000. That's like Gundam style sales.
Oh, listen,
that's like One Piece sales.
All right, listen.
That's like, get that the fuck out of here, B.
All right, listen. You say 50,000. 50,000, right?
Yeah.
Or hard cut. So how many would you give it for digitally?
Well, I'll tell you what. If it's 51,000, digital is usually not like much.
Yeah, so we say about 15,000 maybe.
Yeah,
maybe 30,000.
I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be serious. This is a serious thing. I knew Rico was not gonna sell because for the last 2 years, the Xbox community bashed Japanese gaming. That's just the truth. Every time Sony Pony's mentioned, oh, we got this Japanese game. We don't want that shit. We want big blockers of AAA. And that was the narrative you guys built month after month for 2 years.
Good point.
Now that you got a Japanese
game wasn't that bad. I liked it.
That mentality. And a Japanese developer releases his game.
We'll see.
You created a bunch of dudes that bash.
I guarantee you, if the game does not sell a lot of copies. See, this is the one thing I do hate that digital sales are not advertised because of the fact that I know that mostly everybody that I associate with on my end on Xbox buy their games digital. That I don't see too many people. I know that Crap, he likes to buy his games. Hard copies, and I know a few other people that does, but for the majority of people that I know, they buy their games digital. So, I'm saying, I wish those sales would come out, but guarantee you, y'all can rip me up and down that by the time that Black Friday comes, that game is going to sell at least 500,000 copies on Black Friday because it's going to be at a good sale. 500,000
copies. Record.
You haven't recovered from what Jabari did to you.
It's going to get that game is going to sell about like $20, and people are going to pick that shit up like hotcakes. I guarantee you.
I'm gonna tell you 2 things against Rico. One is a Japanese developed game on a platform where a lot of people.
That's irrelevant. That's
that's one.
Next gen can agree with you. I think you're full of bullshit on that.
You know how many times Xbox gamers kept going, fuck Japanese games. No one cares. Japan don't matter.
Okay, look at it like this.
But that's number one. Number 2, Metacritic scores count.
That shit, man, I am so sick of it. Look, hold on, wait a minute. No, this is where you're full of shit. This is where Metacritic is full of shit.
Activision, Microsoft, the big companies care about Metacritic for a reason.
Okay,
even
Quest Builders, Dragon Quest Builders, it's got an 85. Okay, it's got an 85. Gears of War 4 is got an 85. Get the fuck out of here. That's the shit that I'm talking about.
No,
see,
but I gotta say about this.
One at a time. I can't hear.
K-Mega, you have to respect the fact that different people have different tastes, fam. So some people might like Dragon Quest Builders. Not everyone's going to go to play Gears of War 4.
I gotta say this.
Let D get a word in here. What's going on, D?
The other day on Metacritic, it was sitting at like 91. I went back and looked. I think it was yesterday. There's a couple bullshit reviews on there. One gave it a 5 out of 10. Like, come on, man. Metacritic cannot be taken.
Listen. We can have our opinions on Metacritic, man. But here's the fact. Developers, if they have many of these publishers, they give developers bonuses.
Yeah, bonus.
If their game is 85 or higher Metacritic, that's real money. Activision, if you are an independent developer and you're trying to get Activision to make a game, they have like a little board. And if that board of guys who make the decision, if they don't feel your game is going to be 85 or higher, they're not going to publish your game. Okay. Metacritic.
Let me explain something to you. This is why you're full of bullshit, Barney Rubble. You're back to the Barney Rubble 77. Because no. Okay, all right. let's just get okay. So Dragon Quest Builders, which is a new game. We know Dragon Quest isn't a new game, but the Builders part is trying to be in this genre with Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that is a console seller. That's what publishers are saying. This game is going to push harder than Gears of War 4, that is an established franchise. Let me finish, because you just said yourself that this is what they make their bonus money and everything. I guarantee you right now, everybody from the coalition is over here sipping on Moet and eating motherfucking lobster because they have sold so many motherfucking copies of Gears of War 4. But yet you dumbasses keep talking about goddamn Metacritic scores, which that is fucking bullshit. Let's be real about that. That is goddamn. It's not fucking make no sense. Because when you put goddamn fucking Gears of War, which is motherfucking in the same fucking category with the God of Wars and with the fucking Uncharted and with the goddamn Mighty Halos, are you gonna actually tell me that Dragon Quest Builders is in the goddamn discussion? Shut that shit up, man. That's bullshit.
Alex Jones of Xbox.
Okay. All right. Listen, we're gonna agree to disagree respectfully on it. I mean, okay. Listen, I'm gonna be the voice of reason here. I see what Porter Rock is saying, that Xbox gamers have pushed the narrative that we don't play those. And I've said, quote unquote, with me personally, I know my type of games that I do like the One Piece Bloods and all that stuff is good. I just think, not think I know. Like when we come to brag, or about our exclusive or whatever, it's I know. The big game, the meat and potatoes. I don't consider games like Ori and the Blind Forest the meat and the potatoes. I don't consider games like I wouldn't even consider Recore the meat and the potatoes. When I see that over the top big blockbuster, like the Call of Duties or the Divisions, those are the to me the meat and the potatoes of the system. Everything else is just fluff. Honest, I wouldn't even. I love Killer Instinct. Because it's not handled like a quote unquote AAA. The way that they do it, I like, and again, I love, Killer Instinct. I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. But and even to add on to what K makes, we all know like some of these reviews are kind of skewed, for whatever reason, and in a way, it feels a way that a lot of these smaller company games, even though you may have a game that has a big name like you say Gears of War, but you may have and I'm not saying Gears of War, I'm just using it for an example. You may have another company called, Waffles Chicken, Grits that may have made the game that may get a $5 million bonus if the game review 90. But because of this quote unquote console war, the shit that goes on within this industry, we all seen Gamergate. Like this is something that really happened. How developers, how reviewers or journalists get together and say they're going to rate a game or whatever, which I think is wrong. I mean, it hurts the industry, especially when a little company that needs that little extra, bit of money to keep the lights on. And that aspect, like I said, I do think is wrong. But also, too, I think it's wrong to determine how good a game is based on the score, because we all seen Rise, Son of Rome get slammed. I liked the game. It was cool. We all seen Quantum Break get slammed. I liked the game. I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? So I can see
just like Mafia 3 getting reviewers getting late copies.
I was just gonna make that point too. That game is great.
Yeah, I think the game
I loved that game. Besides the fact that it was probably the most segregated game I've ever played.
That game.
But I beat it today, and I'm happy.
Honestly, I'm
number 2 on my list to do it. So
I'm playing through it right now, and it's probably the most repetitive game I ever played in my fucking life.
Some people like it. I mean, I like the story of it.
The story. If it wasn't for the story, bro, I would have chunked that shit out when I was driving on the freeway. But if it wasn't for the story's great. But I mean, when the interrogations, if I would have knew that you do the same mission twice over and over again, I would have quit a long time ago. But like I said, the story's good, the voice acting is good. It's kind of remind me of LA Noire, kind of with the limp syncing is pretty good. So, you know what? For people that don't know or don't have it, rent it. Redbox that shit, bro. That's all you got to do. Don't buy it.
No, fuck that. That's bullshit. Come on all day. No, man.
No, I think it's a good buy. I honestly think you should buy it.
Fuck no.
Yeah, just for the main fact, because it sounds like what you're saying all day is just what for like other YouTubers and other people that says it's repetitive, they have this mindset that this game is supposed to be like GTA 5, and it's
I get that. I said that in my video. I said that in my video. I said that in my video. But wait, one thing. How many hours are you into the game, bro? That's all you gotta tell me, and I'll correct you real quick.
About 10. I'm about 10 hours right now.
I'm about 35, bro. It's the same thing.
But it's a story-driven game. That's what it's about.
It is. But if you're
like all the rest of the Mafias, it's more story-driven. The other stories are more is repetitive too. That's the thing that I'm not understanding.
Not like this. Bro, just keep on playing. All I gotta say is keep on playing, and you'll see my point.
Well, it's got DLC. It's got DLC too. I want the deluxe edition.
What part are you on, K Mega?
I'm right past the part where I got past the brothel. I'm past the brothel where I had my first interrogation.
Oh man, that first interrogation is gonna be your last interrogation after that 50 hours. Guaranteed.
The one thing I didn't like was that Xbox didn't tell me how long it took me to complete it. It didn't tell me my time rate, so I had to guess. I had to guess, but I'm guessing that it is a 10 to 15 hour, story from point A to point B over and over again. Like you said, repetitive. And some parts you don't need to do those interrogations, and you can kill the enforcers, or you can do the interrogation, and you actually get an achievement if you choose to do the mission without killing the enforcer. So there's an achievement.
I'm not getting no motherfucking achievement point, because if I have a white motherfucker call me the N-word, I'm gonna put a throat in his ass like I did that white motherfucker in that goddamn He gonna say, "What you gonna do now?" Okay, I got you.
I definitely agree that the game is a stress reliever. What you gonna do now?
What you gonna do now? N-word, I got you. This how Blade going to your goddamn
and I've played GTA, and I've never seen something like this. I guarantee 10 years ago, back in early 2000s, my parents would not let me touch this game.
Well, and see, that's what I love. This is what I love about the game. Maybe it's just more. It's more because I'm older than you guys, and so so to me, it touches on a personal point with me, especially me being from the South, and it resonates with me more. So maybe it's also for me gravitating to the story more so than all the repetitiveness and all of that. I just love the story. It grips me. And then also with the history, the music. Oh my God, the music is so well done. I mean, I
love Johnny Cash. I love all that kind of stuff.
One thing that is terrible game design about the music. The music is great, right?
Yeah.
But where the fuck are the titles to the name of the songs?
You got too much G2A5. You got too much G2A5 in your head, bro.
Look, it's 2016. A lot of
there was no internet in the 60s, man. Let it be.
It don't matter. If you got somebody playing the game that doesn't know this history, this is in 1968.
You can go to the music though. You can go to the options and see the name of the music.
Shazam it.
Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that?
Shazam it, man. You can hum the beat.
And they kept that shit authentic.
Oh wait. So B Shadows just joined. Shout out to B Shadows. You come at the end of the show, B Shadows.
What's up, Shadows?
But let me get before we get the hell out of here for an hour and a half. I'm gonna ask you a question before we get the hell out of B Shadows. Going back to something we already discussed, but I want to get your opinion on this. What are your thoughts on Microsoft on the Xbox One, I guess, winning the third month in NPD? Do you think this is the new trend going forward, or Sony's going to be back on top once the phone hits the scene?
Honestly, I think they can only go up from here. They basically been on a successful roll, and with all the changes they're making, not only with the console, I don't see them going down between now and the Scorpio. I just think they're going to go up from there.
Okay.
They got too many games coming out. They're doing too good with backwards compatibility, and they just pretty much giving stuff away. So, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh, so you think maybe the tide is turning? Maybe the trends, people are not looking at the Xbox brand in such a negative light anymore, or do you think, just like I've always said, maybe this generation people are just going to end up owning both consoles? Like they did.
What about a lot of people already just owning the PS4 already?
Well, I think that, and the fact that I think people are waking up. I think people are kind of realizing now, hey, we really just want a bunch of games. And with Sony delaying everything, Microsoft dropping everything, I think they looking at it now, and we just want to play some games at this point. And I think that's what it's coming down to. And people, a lot of unbiased people are finally starting to realize, hey man, it's not about this whole graphic crap anymore. It's about what we playing. And right now the games are dropping, and that's what's important.
No. Okay. All right. Well, so he just I just looked at my screen, but it's already 10 o'clock. But listen, thank you guys for rocking out again with the Multiplayer Podcast.
Oh, hey, Nexian, can I say something?
Yes, say whatever you want.
Okay, before we get off, I do want to say this. I know that that I'm going to sound crazy and I might sound Iron Wolfish, but I'm not. I love Iron Wolf. That's my boy. But anyway, no, I will say this. Microsoft, stop bullshitting with Cuphead. Just say that the damn game is coming out with the Scorpio instead of saying that it's coming this time or whatever. Stop teasing us. Give us a goddamn date, because I've been waiting for that. It's been one of my most anticipated games for the last 3 years. And as much as I bitch about Sony and how they fuck over their own fan base, you've been fucking me over because I've been wanting Cuphead and I still don't have it.
Why would they wait till Scorpio for that game?
Because they said mid 17.
2017.
Yeah.
I think when it boils down to, I just think that scheduling really, you got Forza, Gears. What else came out? What else might be?
Cuphead would have not sold well.
Yeah,
Cuphead should come out January, February.
I say January, February, March would have been
perfect time.
Word all that stuff. Then they got Crackdown 3 and a whole bunch of other stuff coming out. So
I think.
And then they got Dead Rising 4 coming out too. So I mean, I understand that, but it's been 3 years. I understand delay. Yeah. You showed that shit, and when I first seen it, I wanted to put money on it right then, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would be so pissed right now. So do not fall into the Sony category.
Have you played it?
What? Cuphead?
Yeah.
No,
that game is hard as hell, man.
Yeah, I heard they had to dumb it down. So I never played it.
Oh shit!
And they turned it. They've turned it. The last time I played it, they kind of turned it into a platformer as well. So like you're not just boss battles. You're jumping and fighting other enemies as well. But
I can't wait, man. I want that game so bad, man. And
it looks and plays. It looks and plays organically, man. It's good. You're gonna enjoy it, man.
Oh man, well hurry up, Microsoft. Get that Killer Phil. Get this shit going, man. Let me know. Give us an actual date so I can go ahead and I can pre-order that shit. I want it now. But if I gotta wait, then let me know that I need to wait.
All right.
Don't do that. Don't do what
next
Sony
gen.
does.
Next gen. I know I came in late, but did you guys talk about the 4K? The Scorpio with Zen and
you can close the show with that. Yeah, we're talking about hardware. That's what I brought you in. So tell us about the article from Phil. Listen, talk. I'm just letting the dog out in the backyard. So
all right. So basically, Phil did an interview, and he confirmed that it's not going to be using the Jaguar CPUs, the Scorpio. It's going to be using an 8-core CPU, and if it's not Jaguar, it's got to be Zen. So we're going to get like the Zen and Vega combination that many have predicted, and that's going to be huge news for 4K 60 frames per second. Did you guys see the article? Did you guys read it?
What's the article?
I didn't see it.
No, I did not see it.
Okay,
I just googled it. I just put Phil confirmed.
Yeah, so he confirms. Here, I'll read part of the article.
Is that the same article that Yahoo posted yesterday talking about Microsoft is breaking the rules of the generation?
No, this article is about 3 days old.
Okay.
Well, I click on it. It says warning, so I don't know if I want to click on that. So.
Okay, let me read it. It says last month.
Motherfucker try to get me virus.
All right, it said last month we reported AMD is rumored to launch their new semi-custom SoCs in 2018, which means Microsoft upgraded Xbox One console codenamed Project Scorpio could feature the existing AMD Jaguar CPU, the one currently in use by the Xbox One S and PS4 Pro. However, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has debunked those reports, saying the Scorpio is going to be a premium product that would launch with the latest hardware technology from AMD. Spencer said during an interview with GameSpot Australia's EB Expo convention, where he was sharing his thoughts on recent events in the console space. The boss of Xbox One noted that the launch of the PS4 Pro and arrival a year before the Scorpio didn't affect their plans at all. The Xbox Scorpio is designed to stand out in the crowd, where its native 4K performance is made possible thanks to the use of the newest hardware on the market. So it's like a pretty long article. So basically, he's confirming that it's going to be Zen.
Nice.
Because, yeah.
Big shout out to my boy Newark NJ. He was one of the first people I knew that said it. Kevin Brandon was one of the first people I knew that said it.
Technically, it could still be Puma though, couldn't it? Just because he didn't say it.
He said future tech that's not released yet.
Right. Yeah. This is going to be a badass system, man. This system is going to be revolutionary, man. And that's why I don't understand why Sony is half-stepping with the Pro. And that's why I've just said, look, there's got to be some kind of something that the Pro can do that we don't know about, like this so-called secret sauce, because if they don't have it, they're in fucking trouble. They can throw out all these games that people have been waiting for in 2017. If that's their answer, when people start seeing the graphics, which is going to be a huge leap from what we have now to what's going to be shown, it's over. I don't care what games PlayStation is going to be showing. That people are going to see that, and now, since PlayStation was the ones to get the resolution babies to be born, they're already going to be matured and ready to get more graphics and all of that shit. And they're going to see what the Scorpios, and they're going to jump over there to the Scorpio. Xbox is going to be on top again. It's just a fact.
Okay, Alex.
This is going to be interesting.
I'm just saying, it's really interesting. The console leader, as a console leader, you don't have step.
Porterbox gonna change his name to Porterbox.
Here's one thing.
Yeah, Porterbox. No, okay, let me ask you a question, Porterbox. Let me ask you a question for real. Honestly, this is no gimmicks and no games. The PlayStation 4, is it the best PlayStation era out of all the PlayStations that's come? Is it the best?
As far as
no, I don't want to hear yes or no. Is it the best?
What is this? A fucking law office? What is this? A court of law?
No. I just want to. It's a yes or no question. Is the PlayStation 4?
I'm gonna give you the answer.
I'm
gonna give you the answer that you want to hear. The answer is no. To me, the PlayStation 2 is.
Okay.
All right, but I'm going to explain why. Because they're in the PlayStation 2 era. Third party were making games exclusively for that platform. We don't live in that era no more. You know what I'm saying? That era is over.
I got you. But
of course, the PlayStation 2 is going to look better because it had Capcom exclusively. It had Konami exclusively. It had all these companies and all these companies. You know what I'm saying? We don't live in that days no more. Those days are gone. You know what I'm saying? So
okay,
it's not the same.
Fine. That's fine.
Of course,
that's fine. But let me I'm just asking questions because I know next year I'm ready to go. But I just wanted to say you said no. Now, is the X1 right now today? Is it the best out of all the Xboxes that's been available?
No. The 360 was much better.
360 fucking stomps Xbox One.
Are you being serious, nigga?
No, man. You bugging. Let me tell you something.
Man.
I'm going to go back because I gotta get this.
The hell were you drinking? Alex?
When you guys said in 2015 that Xbox One had the greatest...
right now. I didn't say 2015. I said right now.
To answer your question. I said no. But let me show you how bugged out you guys are with 360 Xbox One. In 2015, when y'all were hyping the holiday gaming as the best Xbox lineup in the history of Xbox. I was like, dude, these goalposts. No, listen, I already answered your question. You asked if I think if X1 is the best Xbox. I already told you no. I said no. 360 to me is still the best Xbox. I already answered your question. I'm not sidetracking. I'm telling you to your face, no. But now I want to tell you how fucked up you Xbox dudes are. And I just want to give you an example. In 2015, last holiday, when y'all was saying Xbox One had the greatest lineup of games in the history of Xbox because of Halo 5, Tomb Raider, Gears Ultimate, and fucking Rare Replay, I was like, do these motherfuckers not remember 2007 with Halo 3, Forza 2, Mass Effect, BioShock?
You didn't say Forza 6 either.
No, you didn't. You had you had Forza 6 last year. You know what I'm saying? But in 2007, you had Halo 3, BioShock, Mass Effect, the online version of Virtua Fighter 5, Crackdown, fucking 360 murder 2007.
I'm talking about
was BioShock exclusive back then?
And I can tell you,
Bioshock was exclusive.
It wasn't
was
fully
monster.
exclusive because it went to the PlayStation later and it crashed on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, but it was exclusive at the time.
Yeah, at the time, and when
it was like Tomb Raider. It was like Tomb Raider. It was like
Xbox.
It was timed exclusive.
For years, though. For years.
Oh my God! See, I don't know where MVP be going sometimes.
When games become exclusive on Xbox 360, they didn't pull that bullshit. Oh wait, everybody is coming to PS3. Nah, that shit stood straight up time. No one knew it was coming to PS3. On Xbox One, oh yeah, Tomb Raider's coming to PS4. And the game haven't even launched yet.
Well, see,
you think they would have done some shit like that?
You know what the difference was with that?
Hell no.
But you know the difference between that because now with the media, the way how shitty they are, there was nobody asking questions back then. If it was BioShock coming to the PlayStation 3,
no.
There was nobody asking no questions. There was nobody asking questions. There was nobody asking questions like that. When they were asking the developers, was they coming out? And there were people out there right there off the day one right after Gamescom.
K-Mega has a good point. K-Mega has a good point. You know why? Because back then, it wasn't exaggerated like it is now. You didn't have people asking. You got people at E3 asking, "Hey, is it coming to PS4?" Like 10 seconds after they announce it, immediately.
And also the way.
The reason why we gonna go to the restaurant because of the way. And Kevin Levine say, "Yo, y'all gotta stop asking me about this game, or I'm not gonna support PS3 at all." If you don't
who said this? Nobody don't even know who you're talking about. That's the thing. When you sit, you didn't have social media like you got now, and you didn't have the internet. You
had to get it from magazines.
Magazines wasn't even posting that shit like this.
Are you kidding me?
They weren't.
You're telling me we didn't have forums and BioShock forums?
We did. No. There was maybe PlayStation Nation.
Why you think internet came out last year with Xbox?
But you know what? They were under a clause. There was a reason why people were saying that Microsoft should have took away their fucking the agreement with fucking Square Enix, because right then and there they had to give that information out of saying yes, it's a time exclusive when they wasn't supposed to. Even B Shadows made a fucking video about that.
Yeah, but people only asked about Tomb Raider.
Nobody wasn't asked about BioShock or Skyrim or fucking Mass Effect coming to the PlayStation 3 back then, like they asked about anything that's supposed to be exclusive or time exclusive like they do now. And when PlayStation 4 has a fucking game that's supposed to be like, because let me get this right, No Man's Sky, all of a sudden I hear these motherfucking ponies open their mouth and saying, this game is because it's shit, because it's a lie, it's a fucking joke, they're going to talk about, it's not exclusive. Fuck that. You eat that L, because y'all said that shit was y'all's. It's the greatest shit next to sliced bread. And then everybody realized that there was a bunch of shit. And now y'all want to talk about, it wasn't exclusive. They were telling nobody wasn't pressing them and saying, is this game coming to Xbox? Is this game going to be on any other platform? Nobody was pressing them in the media.
Let me shut you down. This is straight from the fucking GameSpot. PS3 BioShock trace uncovered in PC demo. A source configure file inside a PC BioShock demo heard that BioShock is currently only available on Xbox 360 PC. Many Sony fans firmly believe it will eventually arrive on PC.
Only Sony fans. Only Sony fans. It wasn't the media wasn't going after them. After Microsoft on that back then like this.
But wait a minute, K-Mega. Hold on, K-Mega. Hold on. You just said the media wasn't going after them. But he just read the article.
I just read it off of GameSpot.
Off a fucking article. We're talking about media. Oh my God.
From the media.
What's this? Listen.
You have no idea what's going on last
From the media.
You're making shit up. You have no idea.
How am I making shit up?
Because
we all know
that. Hey, yo, this shit happened. Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
Held up, bro.
Yes.
man making shit up.
Listen,
You have
Hey,
no
we'll
idea
continue
what's
this
going on.
shit after on the motherfucking on the other side.
No,
Let's
you
go.
have no idea what went on.
listen.
You
With
have
that
enough
being
to
said,
talk
emotional
about it.
ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you.
We need an
next
after
week.
show, goddammit.
Then we
Yeah.
need an after goddamn show.
We
This
need
is
to
have
do
a week.
multiplayer podcast
Hey, yo.
after dark.
Yo, let's have a week, man. These jokers here,
You know
man.
what
These
I'm saying?
jokers look like two pit bulls, man. Hey, listen.
Multiplayer podcast after dark.
Hey, but no,
Hell
thank you guys
yeah.
as always rocking out with us, man. We got to set this debate, K-Mega versus Porter Rock, man. We got to get these guys scared. We got to make this happen. We're gonna sell the tickets $99.95, man.
At the Mandalay Bay.
At the man.
Oh shit.
Oh man, but anyway, I gotta go to this Black for Trump meeting. We gotta get the hell up out of here, man. But thank you as always for rocking out with the Multiplayer Podcast. If you guys are just tuning in now, we run the show back to the beginning. A lot of entertaining stuff as always. See you Friday on. I'm sorry, I'm lying. I'll see you Saturday on the Gamer versus Gaming Podcast. Me and Zobi70, and I'm gonna get the links to everyone's channel again, posted in the first comment. Go support these guys' channel. Thank you for rocking out with us, man. As always, we out here. Bang bang.